Good morning, traders. Gates Adams here with GACTradingPro.com. And it is Wednesday morning, February 8th, 2023. We're talking about trading, and we'll be doing some trading, hopefully. And of course, understanding that trading does involve risk. Please make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. All right, let's jump in here and minimize that. Okay. So, yesterday was a rough day. I guess for a lot of people, some of the news was apparently pretty challenging. You know what? I didn't have a great day. I didn't do well. I took a couple of scalps, took a couple of long, trending trades, and overall did not do well. I think I was down like 250, 245, something like that. Of course, we're still trading in sim because I haven't gotten past, well, I haven't gotten past a lot of stuff yet. And certainly have not achieved a level of consistency that makes any sense for me to move forward yet. So, I did. Yesterday affected me. I was definitely kind of down in the dumps. Was talking to my wife after trading and thought, yeah, I'm not gonna jump in. I'm gonna take a day off and I'm gonna just regroup and do all the things that you do when you're just kind of bummed and whatever. Just realizing where a lot of this comes from. A lot of this comes from my history and my background and some of the challenges that I've had with trading in the past. And it's quite a few things happened yesterday after I was done trading that it just reminded me why I'm doing this, why I'm trading live. When quite frankly, the reality is that I'm certainly not somebody that you would want to mimic by any stretch of the imagination. And there's tons of people out there that you can watch that are they're going to have something to offer in terms of strategy that might make you better, that might make you more consistent, that might help you see something that you weren't seeing otherwise. Yep, tons of them out there. And I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them at this point. Now, there may come a day, and should that day come, we'll, obviously be having a very different conversation. And so, anyway, but a couple of things happened after I was done trading yesterday that just reminded me that I'm not trying to offer what everybody else is offering. In fact, I'm not really trying to offer much of anything other than just a look inside. For some people, this process comes naturally, and they're successful very quickly, and all of those things. For most of us, it takes time. Someone, and I don't know where they got this from. And anyway, somebody that I was talking to yesterday said, yeah, most traders, it takes them about a year before they're, really, consistent. A year of practicing, learning, growing, developing, doing all the things that I'm doing right now before they get to a point where that trading has that level of consistency that it could be deemed, side income or main income or whatever the case may be. And 3 years before it's really strong. Now, I think that's probably accurate for most traders. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes repetition, and all those things. I also think that if someone commits the time, energy, and effort, it can happen quite a bit quicker than that. And it's kind of what I'm hoping for. I am putting a lot of time, energy, and effort into this, and I think that's why days like yesterday are just so frustrating. It's not like it was just yesterday. Monday sucked. Last week as a whole sucked, and I mean it becomes a little demotivating. It's hard to kind of stay strong and positive, and all of those things, but not impossible. And sometimes you just talk to the right people at the right times, and something meaningful happens, and you just remember why. Well, for me, I just remembered why I'm doing this, and why I'm doing this is to hold myself accountable, to showing up, for starters. if I wasn't going to show up today, then I would have to go on and, based on my commitments, I would have to go live and say, hey, I'm not trading today. Today's going to be an off day, and I don't want to do that. I want to be here. I want to be proactive and consistent, and all the things that I've been trying to do. And the other thing is that, I know people pop in and out of the feed on the various platforms and don't necessarily, communicate, and that's fine. I'm not looking for a cheering section or anything like that, but, I know that there's people out there that are watching this, and I know this because they've told me, kind of outside of the normal feed, that it's cool seeing somebody, be willing to expose the weaknesses, the challenges, the frustrations, all of the things that go along with this process, because there's value in community. There's value in knowing that you're not the only one going through it. And days like yesterday when they're very demotivating for me, I get to publicly express that. A lot of people don't. And so having the opportunity to just, maybe be a part of somebody's process and, maybe just let somebody else know that, hey, you're not the only one who's struggling. You're not the only one who had a rough day. You're not the only one who wanted to stop yesterday or last week or last month or whatever the case may be, or, today in some cases. Anyway, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And anyway, I hope that there is, benefit to a bunch of you guys out there that, maybe pop in or, kind of glance through a few minutes of this process or my stream throughout the day, or, come in and check out the replays afterwards in the backstage area, as I've called it. And whether we communicate or not, I just knowing that you guys are there really is very meaningful to me, and it really is deeply appreciated. So thank you guys, whatever your level of communication or whatever the case may be is, just knowing that you guys are there, knowing that you guys are showing up and checking in on me, or whatever the case may be, it means a lot. So I appreciate it. So as we burn through the first few minutes here, I will update you on my setup. I got my screens in yesterday, so I do have the 4 screens. 2 of them are still in the box. The new ones are still in the box because my mounts were supposed to show up yesterday as well, and they did not. They were scheduled to arrive by 10. They updated me about 9:45 saying that they'd be here today. I have looked up the updates, and it does look like they will be here at some point today. So my hope is that it gets here early enough, because I'm going to have to do a little bit of carpentry to get these things installed. Which means that I have to completely undo everything, clear off the desk, clear out the space and everything, and do some. Well, I say carpentry. I got to drill some holes and stuff. But anyway, my hope is that they get here early enough that I'm able to go through and get everything all set up and get my workspace totally cleaned up here. Because if we're being honest, you're looking this way, you can't really see it, but my workspace is kind of a shit show. And I think there's a tremendous value in a clean space, creating a good working environment, an opportunity to, be more organized and just feel better about the space and the work and everything like that. Okay. So we are past 5 minutes. It's still zipping around pretty good. So we're kind of trying to figure out what it's wanting to do. Had a couple of perceived entries over the course of the last few minutes. Of course, this one came in after the 5 minutes, but barely. But this one, certainly I'm glad I didn't take them. Getting a couple of down signals and watching the market move upward in light of that right after open, I guess does give me an indication that while The overall trend for the morning has been down. It looks like it might want to be moving upward. And upward is got a fair amount of constriction here as I look at the different charts and the different indications of obstruction, of potential hesitation, of that kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely some openings and opportunities up here. One thing I realized is that my chart, depending on how I have it set, like right now, each of these dashes is 10 points. It's good information to have. It just gives me a quicker visual of a potential move and what I'm looking for in a trade and all that kind of good stuff. So, and then I have to remember, because a lot of the videos that I've been watching have revolved around NQ, and I'm trading YM. NQ, of course, each point is 4 ticks. With YM, each point is a tick. So 20 points is the same as 20 ticks on what I'm looking at, versus as I was watching a video last night, guy was talking about his target for some trades was 20 points on NQ, which is 80 ticks. I mean, that is a significant difference than 20 points on YM. Anyway, I mean, I know that's fairly obvious, but the point being is that it's having these visuals and just seeing the representation of if I want 80 ticks, just going in line with what I was watching yesterday, that would look like here all the way up to here. The idea being that's not very unobstructed. Whereas, some of the stuff that they were showing and they were showing some of their charts and stuff like that. I have to remember that when I'm watching something, I have to make those transitions and adjustments. I mean, again, for whatever any of that's worth. Recognizing that. So, let's see what the day brings. I think it's become very clear that I've been overly focused on the quote-unquote moves. This white chart over here, especially after a couple of potentially not so positive trades like I had yesterday, because the desire to take a longer move will definitely have the potential to create bad decision making on my part. Look, a scalp, a win is basically worth 9 points to me, and a loss is worth 21. Taking a bad trade in that scenario, I mean, it takes 2.5 scalps to get back out of that hole. Almost 2.5. You get the idea. But potentially one long trade gets you out of that. And psychologically speaking, there's a shift in the dynamic of the desire to be in one of these trades versus one of these trades, which is really primarily going to be that scalp. And a high level of desire to be in a certain trade, or just to be in a trade in general. I keep getting slapped with this lesson over and over and over again, which tells me that I'm not doing a great job at learning this lesson. As much as I can verbalize it and say, oh yeah, I get it, it's not it's sinking in the way that it should. So in recognition of that fact, yeah, I absolutely get it. Let's see here. We got some good stuff here. I'd like to see that cluster, that yellow bar, to make this one really more viable. Sorry, my neck's a little stiff today. Good bouncing point, good setup. Definitely been an upward movement. Clearly it was started struggling. Not necessarily any particular spot, but it struggled. anyway. Clearly that entry wasn't going to happen, but you know, some positive volume moving up, some strong volume pulling back, which gives us that HD component. Yeah, we're good here.
Order submitted.
We've got all the key
Order filled.
Of what appears to be a solid entry. Let's see what the day brings us to begin with. I like to see it just move and jump a little quicker. That intra-trade stress does definitely kick in. Excuse me. But, you know, all signs were pointing. It was good HD. We had, the filtering, meaning that it was green and it was an upward move. So, you know, I think we got a good shot here. You know, you create a new bar and then you bounce back. It looks like you're moving in the right direction. You really haven't. So I got to let this thing go and do its thing. A particular price point is the same particular price point regardless of what bar it's on. See? I don't like that. I want it to come back up. But of course now we've established that it's a little choppy right now. And that kind of sucks being in the mid-trade. Ugh. I'd like to get out of this one, hopefully unscathed, and let the market move in a more of a direction. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, you're not making me very happy right now. Before jumping into another one, so let's see what happens. Oh. Oh, come on. There's now a long way to go to get out of this one in the green. Breathe deep.
Stop filled.
Crying out loud. All right, not a great start there. That's okay. Can't even see that there was HD there anymore. All right, let's screenshot this baby, and let's focus on moving forward. All right, there we go. Got that. Man, I just don't like starting that way. It's it's brutal. Put that dev there. Yeah, it's heavily obstructed. Yeah, that's a no. That is absolutely a no area. Let's see here. I had added something yesterday. What was it? It was the institutional zones. Anyway, I think these kind of help see some of that consolidation that might happen before a move. I don't know. Saw someone else utilizing it. They didn't explain it in very much detail, but yeah, I don't know. Oh dear. Yeah, no. Yeah. There might be some value in the view. Who knows? Probably going to see it bounce off of this, not into an area that makes sense to take the bounce, but if nothing else, at least it'll probably struggle. Well, I think it's fair to say it's struggling. Okay, so I like the look of this as a downward move. Looks like we've come out of some level of consolidation there. Okay, so setup bar. If we come down a little further, we get that entry. Oh, I need another tick. Yeah, all right, so it's officially a short entry. Which again, my goal is to take that lower risk entry. Once it retraces, have a smaller amount of risk. But, well, okay.
Order filled.
And that's a lot of garbage to get through. we're going to go ahead and put that on the other side of that. But I think that we have, ultimately, we broke out of this, so maybe. I mean, there's a little excitement in that bounce from there. We're struggling there. Let's see if we can make it. Oh, come on. Come on back down. I think it's safe to say that that's probably a better target. Would have hit it already. I had to stop being greedy and go for more reasonable targets. Maybe that's part of it. Now, of course, it's put us into the makings of an uptrend. Ah, for crying out loud. Come on down. Give us a little reprieve here. Thank you. Come on. If I lose this one, I'm out for the day.
Stop filled.
Oh, shit. All right. That clearly should have been my target. All right. That's it for today. Check back in tomorrow. Maybe it'll be a little bit better. I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. God bless. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Take care.